You know that feeling you get when you feel that all the stars have aligned? Well, that's the feeling I'm getting right at the moment, and I'm telling you, I'm one lucky boy. Check out this place. This amazing nursery has got one of the best showcases of indoor plants I think I've ever seen. And it's a bit of a shame with all this colour and texture that we can't get more of it into our homes. Well, I might have a little bit of a surprise for you guys. The woman we're about to meet has not only put her own spin on terrariums, but she's responsible for the resurgence of these back into the design world. And the other thing is, I think I might be able to twist her arm and get her to show us some of her best DIY tips. Come on, let's go meet Clea.
So I've been making terrariums for about 7 years now. Initially it started just as a hobby. I saw a beautiful old terrarium book from the 70s in an op shop, and yeah, I was pretty hooked on making things with my hands, and I like the different forms and textures of the plants and the different designs you could create, and just that it was miniature really, and anything miniature is quite appealing.
So Clea, when I think of terrarium, I normally think of something a little bit smaller, but this one here is a bit of a whopper.
Yeah, that's pretty spectacular. I think it's about 20 kilos, just the glass itself, so it weighs a lot. But you can sort of make terrariums in any glass vessel.
So when you're starting off a terrarium, are you looking at inspiration from other things? Do you start with plants? How does it work?
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the sort of plants that I've got access to. So if I've got, say, indoor plants, or if we've got some succulents or cacti. And then it also comes down to the type of vessel. Like if it's an open vessel, you know, they're better for plants that need a bit more ventilation. And then the ones with the smaller holes, or the sealed ones, they're good for rainforesty type indoor plants that like the humidity.
Terrariums and indoor plants and vertical walls appeals to people bringing a lot more greenery inside, people living in smaller apartments and houses and not having as much outdoor space, so it's a good way to bring a bit of greenery into their lives.
The other thing I find fascinating about terrariums is the fact that it's not just about the plants, and you can get really creative. What are the other, you know, texture and aspects that you bring into the terrarium?
Well, I guess when we design the terrariums, we try and emulate natural landscapes. So we try and bring in little riverbeds and little rock faces, and sometimes we put little people and have some fun. We've done ones where there's little nudists hidden in the forest, which are quite cute, and try and not take it too seriously.
And I guess they create talking points as well.
Yeah, and people love them, and kids, especially great for kids if they want to put some little animals or dinosaurs or fairies.
It sounds really good to me, and I'm excited about this. And from here, what do we do in terms of getting one made? Because I'd love you to show me how I can make one.
Well, first of all, we'd choose a glass vessel. So we'd work out what we're going to put it into, and then we go and choose some plants.
Well, I think we've got plenty of plants here. I'm going to follow you, Clea. Lead the way. Let's go shopping.
Part of the fun of going to a nursery is finding different plants that might work well together and then creating a landscape around what you've got.
I tell you what, this place is absolutely incredible. Check out all the air plants.
Yeah, they're good for terrariums too, the air plants.
So do you start with a centre plant and work out from there, or how does it work?
Sometimes if you can find a really beautiful plant to begin your design. So these ones here, the creeping fig, Ficus pumila, this one's a really great plant for terrariums. It's really hardy. It's easy to propagate, and once it takes off, you'll be chopping it back because it just goes crazy within a terrarium.
All right, well...
So we'll start with that one.
OK.
I've come from a graphic design sort of film background, so I'd use plants in a really graphic way, so I'd do lots of contrast and colour and texture and use them in different ways just to make them more interesting.
In my head, I've got the theme of creating a bit of a rainforesty look. So is that something that do you start with the theme as well? Yeah,
you try and group plants together that are of the same environment. So things like ferns, which are perfect, these type of things.
Yeah, love the ferns.
They look really great. Some of the bird's nest ferns as well, they're quite cute in a forest terrarium. Photonia, which is really nice for a pop of colour.
What about these little fellas?
Yep, those ones are Apilia. They're really unusual.
See, kids would love that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's going in.
Pop that one in. So this parlour palm, this one's a really good terrarium plant. Gives a bit of height and a different texture again.
Yeah, well, look, we've got a bit here to start with. Let's go hunting for a bit more and then let's start making terrariums.
Terrariums are very simple to make. Might take you 10-15 minutes once you've got all the elements all ready to go. I wrote a book called Miniscapes that goes through the process of creating a terrarium. The book came about because I was being asked to do lots of workshops and people wanted to learn how to make terrariums. So Miniscapes' book was a good way of passing on this knowledge so people could create their own terrariums at home.
So, Claire, here we are. It's exciting times. I've got to say, this setup here, I feel like I'm on a cooking show.
Yep, we're ready to go. So we've got all our elements. Just place out how we want the plants to roughly look in the terrarium.
Okay.
So you might start with a few kind of lower ground covers at the front and then the taller things towards the back. Because it doesn't have any hole at the bottom like a normal pot, you need to give it a layer of drainage along the bottom. So pebbles or the crushed rock.
Start shoveling away?
Yep, maybe 5 centimetres worth of rocks along the bottom. I'm going to make a terrarium as well. I think you got the easy one in this one.
I was going to say just there that I think I did get the easy one.
So once you've got your rocks in or your pebbles in, you just give it a bit of a shake to even it out.
Shake, rattle and roll.
That's right.
Okay.
A layer of charcoal.
What's the charcoal do?
So the charcoal just acts like a bit of a filter and it keeps it from getting smelly, basically. It kind of works how it does in a fish tank.
Right.
And then the next layer is our soil.
Okay, and what sort of soil have you gone for here?
So this is a African violets mix, but you can also just use a general potting mix as well.
So we're getting almost to the planting stage now?
Yes, we are. So if you just put a...
pushing this down?
Tap your soil down so it's...
So what's that actually doing?
That's just getting all of the air pockets out of the soil.
Yep.
So that when you're planting, the soil can draw up the moisture. And then when you're ready, I just, with your finger or a spoon, go around and make a few little holes. Yep. And then start planting.
Straight in. Tell you what, I'm used to building like large landscapes. So for this, I'm going to get a mini landscape done in, you know, under an hour.
You're going to be hooked.
I like the sounds of that.
Okay.
How am I going?
It's looking good.
I think I need some rocks.
Yeah. So I usually use a variety of different shapes, pebbles and rocks, and you can position them in different ways to create a bit of interest. And then with the little pebbles, I just sort of put them around the edges just to cover up the soil.
Yep. I guess the sky's the limit. I mean, you could put a little house in there and a little...
Yeah. Little animals or dinosaurs, or you could make it into a little fairy garden for kids. All right, how's it looking?
Well, I don't know. I was going to ask you, how do you think it's looking? Don't ask me. How would I know?
I think you've definitely passed.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, I've had a good teacher.
And then at the end, we just have to give it a good water and put it into a nice indirect sunny spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've absolutely enjoyed myself making this, and it might be the first of many.
They're quite addictive.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, look, thank you very much, and I'm going to be taking this one home. Guys, you know what to do now. Get cracking on your own terrariums.